so again, the big three, not Kendrick, Drake, and J. Cole: discriminatory actions, penalties, and compliance with the basic conditions of Employment Act. So, in terms of discriminatory actions, for forbidding workers to discuss wages and salaries with co-workers, just so that they can, ascertain, look, we're doing the same job, but you're getting paid more, stuff like that. Preventing workers from having access to employment contracts, so they should always be able to see their employment contracts, exactly what's stipulated there, and then work toward it. Refusing to accept a valid medical certificate of a sick worker, because they weren't there and you can't push productivity. Refusing to grant workers family responsibility leave, and so on and so on. And guys, remember with this, just remember the first two or three. Look, these aren't as important, which is why I just put it on one slide, just so you guys can get a better understanding of it all. And look, the last one, providing employment contracts with different terms and conditions to employees offering the same job. So yeah, that happens quite a bit, especially in apartheid South Africa. I'm sure you guys have heard stories where people were doing similar jobs, but because of the color of their skin, they got paid a bit less. Not just in apartheid South Africa, even today in this modern South Africa, it still exists. Trust me, I don't want to get into it too heavily, but yeah, one of my actually I am going to get into it. One of my friends, he was working as a chef at a pretty posh restaurant in Pretoria, and he was getting paid round about 8,000 rands for the job. A pretty young guy, 8,000 rands, I'd say decent, like entry level salary if you're working a position like that at like a decent-ish place in Pretoria. It was like a hotel restaurant type place. And then he told me that an individual of a different racial group, look, I don't want to start naming colors and things. What kind of a South Africa is this if we keep speaking about it? Look, I know we're never meant to forget and all that, but look, there needs to be a time where we need to drift away from discussion like that. But yeah, other dude from a different racial group came in. He was actually training this guy to do the exact same job. Okay, he was literally just like making omelets, making bacon, making French toast, poaching eggs, and this guy was getting paid 11,500. So literally 3,500 rands more, almost 50% more than what he was getting paid. And yeah, this was a really unfortunate thing. When he took it up with the employer just got super, super angry. And yeah, my friend opted to leave the job, and now he's working for Uber. Really heavy situation, man. So this has been going on, well, since forever. I mean, who knows? Maybe a few of your parents find themselves in this position. Not just that. When I was in Stellenbosch, I was chatting to a waiter, and he was an Afrikaans guy working for an English-run establishment in Stellenbosch, and he said that it was almost as though the English individuals were getting just better treatment as compared to, the Afrikaans counterparts. And they were all working the same job, waiting tables, doing dishes, and so on and so on. And yeah, then he came to know about the salaries as well. And there were heavy discrepancies. So again, I won't name figures or anything like that, or the name of the restaurant. But yeah, this is the situation in South Africa. And you would think, like, really, Stellenbosch of all places, pulling moves like this, well, yeah, of course it's going to be Stellenbosch. They've always had some kind of issue. If you guys remember the urination incident like 2 or 3 years ago, really heavy thing. But yeah, he was shocked because, it's Stellenbosch. But yeah, not always as it seems. It was an English-run restaurant. I'm getting off topic now. Yeah, I've got more examples. It's a heavy situation, man. Especially living in South Africa. Really, that like racial dynamic will always be there. Not even like a racial dynamic, like sub-racial groups. Like, for example, like within the Indian population, there's a pretty big like Indian-run chain in Durban. They operate in Johannesburg as well. And apparently they were paying their like Hindi origin employees more than the Tamil origin employees. Yeah, I read that case when I was a lot younger, like in grade 7 or grade 8. So yeah, it exists everywhere, man. Sometimes it's not even racial, sometimes it's tribal. But yeah, I guess as human beings, we just love to discriminate. Okay, I'm making this video a bit too long. So yeah, in terms of penalties, some penalties businesses may face for not complying with the BCEA. So labor inspectors may serve a compliance order by writing to the Department of Labor, like telling on them, like, hey, I'm going to tell on you. The Director General may agree, change, or even cancel the compliance order. Labor inspectors may investigate, inspect, or ask questions about complaints and remove records as evidence. Businesses can also be taken to the labor court for a ruling. So, yeah. Look, in terms of penalties, it's always about going to court, some kind of legal implication, or like heavy fines. like financial penalties, or you actually go to court and just paying compensation. It's like that for pretty much every act. Now, in terms of compliance, workers should only work 9 hours per day in a 5-hour work week, and look, have an hour lunch break. So the standard 8 to 5 in South Africa, 8 hours per day in a 6-day work week. So if they have to work Saturdays, and overtime should never exceed 10 hours per week. If it does, they're being overworked. They are being exploited. So they must have a break of 60 minutes after 5 hours of work. So typically in South Africa, you come to work at 8, you take your lunch break at like 1 o'clock, or some even 12:30. Just depends on the nature of the work. Workers can take up to 6 weeks of paid sick leave during a 36-month cycle. Tongue twister. But look, every 3 years, you can take 6 weeks off. So that's 2 weeks per year, basically. Businesses should not employ children under the age of 16. Okay, that is child labor, which is also illegal. But look, it depends on the industry. Like a child actor, for example, like you need to play like a little boy going to primary school in some sitcom. Or in like Blood and Water, like there's a grade 7 who just makes an appearance. Like, you know what I mean? There are some like exceptions to the rule. And workers must receive double if they work during public holidays or on a Sunday. Okay, but again, it depends on the nature of the work. But I work under my own brand here, everybody. So no days off. # team no sleep. But yeah, grind. Look, I made this video very, very long. I got super silly as well. So yeah, I just wanted to bring the section to life for you guys. See you in the next video.